Hey, kiddos, welcome to an experimental version of New Player Podcast, the Shane Solo Edition. Basically, this is just going to be a way for me to provide some content on these weeks where we don't have any content. And basically, they're just going to involve me interviewing random people that I know about certain game related topics. Today, we talked to man behind the screen, Tom, get a little bit of his life, his background, childhood, games he played when he was young. We have a couple more interviews planned up for the future here. We'll get a little bit into the podcast, but I got a buddy who got into gaming late in life after 30. We'll talk to him and his girlfriend. And also a longtime friend of mine, Casey, who is a very spiritual dude. And we're going to talk about video games and spirituality, how they can mix, how they can oppose, all that kind of good stuff. But you guys are gonna notice the video change in this episode because I had some video trouble mid-recording, and I was not about to stop it. We're gonna run it through. So instead of just leaving a blank screen or just having our logo up for the 30 minutes that it seemed to mess up, I threw in some Destiny gameplay footage. Me finally getting the Julton energy exotic weapon, which took me a very long time. Not that long, like 5 weeks, but hey, that's long enough. Anyway, check out the pod. Let me know what you guys think. We got more coming for you guys, and we're gonna keep moving this little experiment. I think we got a recording with the Fad coming up soon, and we think we're gonna have a lot more recordings with these guys because they're fun dudes and they play a lot of games. But that's it, guys. Check out the episode. Let me know what you think. Peace. Hey, kiddos. Welcome to another episode of New Player Podcast. We got a special edition going, the Shane Solo Edition. That's right. We're gonna have a few of these. There's gonna be some time in between. We got a few cool interviews coming up. First of which will be with man behind the screen, Thomas. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Excellent,
Nervous.
excellent. Nervous. Why are you nervous, Tom? Have I ever done anything to make you nervous?
Oh,
in our
it isn't
entire
about you.
relationship? Okay.
Oh, maybe a few things.
All right. Fair enough.
There's that one time.
Ooh,
No,
oh,
I don't
man.
know.
Getting sour. I was thinking the other day, I was like, you know what? I got a little bit extra time than some of these guys. I thought, why not fill some of this dead air, these dead weeks with a little bit of content? Then I was thinking, you know what? We've had Tom on almost every single episode, and we know nothing about him. And that is not fair to not only Tom, but the audience at large. Am I right?
I think that they're all missing out a little
They're
bit.
all missing out. They're all missing out. Yeah, so like I said, we're gonna have a few more interviews coming up after this one. Tom's gonna be the first of a few we got lined up. We got my buddy Brandon and his lady Ashley, and interesting topic of getting into gaming after 30. Both of them have never been gamers. He picked up a PlayStation 4 purely for the new 2K21 golf game that just came out.
I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, he's a crazy golfing enthusiast. Picked it up and it's getting terrible reviews. It's getting bombed because it's so crazy hard. And I actually tried it out. I downloaded it and tried it out. And it is it's so difficult. So he's sitting there with the PlayStation with nothing. I'm sorry, we're gonna get way into this. But anyways, I gave him access to my library of games, over 130 PlayStation games, and him and his lady have recently gone to it. We're getting into that. Another one lined up with a buddy Casey of mine, video games and spirituality. We're getting into that. That's right. Very heavy topic. But forget that for now. Tom, buddy, the man of the hour.
Yeah.
The man of the hour.
My thing is just wackiness.
And everything that entails. I was gonna say, when I first met Tom, obviously through my little sister. This is my little sister's husband, making him my brother-in-law, for better or for worse. Yeah.
No. I think the first time I met you, I was wearing a scarf and a fedora. So It's only up from there. It's only up.
I don't remember what I said, but it couldn't have been. I couldn't have been polite towards you.
You didn't. You mean you were polite? I don't think that. I it was not. I did not feel good afterwards about myself.
Yeah, I remember. I remember meeting you like once. It wasn't the first time. It was several times after. But you were wearing like a cabbie boy hat, and I remember making a
Oh,
comment then. I remember coming out looking at you, and I was like, "This is the guy dating my little sister." I was like, "Ah, yeah, yeah." It was one of those. No, Tom has been a welcome addition to the family. This is all for fun. You guys got married coming up on a year now. Anniversary's what? The 20th of September.
21st. It is Monday.
21st. That's right. That's right. Lena and I were just talking about that because she remembered it being very close to 9/11, which is a terrible comparison, but that's how Lena remembered it. But
That
Lena being my wife.
sucks.
But, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I know Tom through my little sister. I really do want to bring in Ali and Lena from one of these Shane Solo episodes where we talk about the spouses of gaming, the spouses of gamers. I'm sorry, the spouses of gamers and how they deal with that. People who put more than just a few hours into a beloved game. So
It's probably an epidemic.
yeah, I know. I think the WHO tried to declare it a like an actual sickness or something at some point.
Did
But
they really?
they tried and
That's.
they failed. I don't think I think there's a gaming addiction. I think it got placed into the addiction umbrella, or it can kind of thrive.
I mean,
But
I've heard of
hey,
people in China that would be playing WoW
to death.
so much that their kids would die and stuff. Which
Yes.
is I'm not laughing, but
No, it's horrible. It's no, what you're saying is an actual
yeah,
thing. Yeah, it's terrible, and we make light of it. We make light of like these gaming marathons. We'll do. Man, I put 8 hours into this game yesterday, and you feel terrible after. These are people putting in weeks at a time, sometimes days without sleeping or eating or feeding their children. It's
yeah.
terrible. It can become a problem like anything else and over
Yeah,
excess in life.
if anybody out there has a problem, call this number. I'm
I'm
just
gonna I'm
kidding.
gonna place a number in there. I'm gonna place the addiction hotline, whatever you need, to your
It's
maybe a website. How about that? I'll place a website there. Thank
it's
you,
my
Tom.
number.
Just Tom. I'll give you Tom's cell phone number. You guys can call him directly, and he will help you out. um, it's so interesting. Any other thing we want to get into? No, but the full circle of life. So I said we met Tom through Allie, my little sister. They were dating. How long did you guys date before you get married? It was a good 8 or 9 years. You guys were going like a little bit longer than Lena and I, like a year longer than my wife and I, and we've been together about 8 years.
Yes. I
Yeah,
think we're about to be, what was it? We met in 2010. So we're at 10
and I
years
know
right now. So like
yeah,
so maybe 9 years before we got married?
that's right. I know there's like a little break in between, but hey, Tom put his
Yeah.
time in, and I will. My little sister is an amazing person, smart, intelligent, beautiful young lady. But Silveras can be notoriously hard to deal with, and we'll just leave it at that.
No
So,
way. Hmm.
well, maybe we'll try to censor that in the next episode with Allie and my wife, and we will let Thomas and Lena go too hard in this, but
We can release this episode after.
yeah, but what I was saying, Tom's put his time in. He's a great dude. Him and Allie mesh very well. So yeah, it's been. But yeah, anyways, a full circle of life. So I said that's how we met Tom, but we met Tom a little bit in a different way, or at least his bloodline. Tom's dad owned a comic slash, I guess not much of a comic shop, more of a card shop. We'll call it a card shop, but action figures,
It was
collectibles.
both.
Yeah, there's definitely
Collectibles,
cards there,
okay.
are comics. There's absolutely. I picked up many a Spawn figurines in that store. I fucking love Spawn, and he had the coolest looking stuff in there, and action figures. But yeah, his dad actually owned the card shop. I picked up most of, actually probably 90% of my Pokemon cards at PJ, my
Me too.
brother. Yeah, picking up baseball cards, everything you think of, basketball cards, X-Men cards. I remember having a full set of X-Men cards, the ones you put in the 9 card sleeve that actually made a full scene. Oh, it was awesome, really cool. But yeah, so
I love
it
those.
just shows you how small this world is, especially how small Corona is, for that matter. But yeah, so Tom and I and my family actually indirectly go very far back. Tom's family being a pillar of this city of Corona, we'll say. But hey, let's let's talk about let's flirt a little bit with video games, Tom. You're a guy who's obviously into video games. There's playing video games and there's being into video games, and being into
I
video games like
dabble.
making mediocre podcasts about them and attempting stupid, corny bits involving video games, things like that. But no, but I know Tom plays a lot of Destiny. Tom has passion with these games. Tom, can you remember some just early games? What really influenced you to like really make that plunge? I know, or let's just talk about what were you playing earlier? Like, how young did you start playing? First of all, what's the earliest you can remember?
The first I remember was being very, very small. I have this weird memory. I can remember pretty far back. I remember being 3 or 4, and my dad had, for some reason, 2 NES systems for some reason.
Wow.
And
Hey,
I
those were
remember
expensive
playing.
consoles back in the day too.
Yeah, I don't know
You,
why he had two, but
you probably got
one
it
of
in a
them was like
trade
never
or
even
something.
opened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
knowing
interesting.
him, he used to go to Frankenstein's the trade show like for collectibles and stuff, and like he'd like started off just like going around and like buying boxes of cards and then like selling them around, like just going back and forth and selling boxes, and then like he'd
Absolutely.
always like leave with one box, and then eventually he had like a whole trailer of these boxes and opened up a card shop. So that's
What
probably
a
why.
trip.
But
That's so cool.
yeah. Um. Anyway, I remember my first games I played were on that were obviously Mario. Um
Yeah.
the first one. And I remember for some reason loving, was it Luigi was in the first one or was that the second one? I don't know. Like this two players like just green shaded. But that and Three Stooges I don't know why.
What for Super
But yeah.
Nintendo?
Oh no, for just
Super,
Nintendo, the original
we're
one.
talking regular Nintendo here. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, and Duck Hunt.
Okay.
And Duck Hunt.
Oh God,
But
yes. Was it so did
yeah.
you actually have the Duck Hunt game, or was it the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt Olympics? I had a cartridge. That's the only way I experienced Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, and Duck Hunt, which it was on a cartridge with two other games. So it was Mario, Duck Hunt, and Olympics. And we had the
It
trackpad you
was
plugged in as a controller.
Oh no, I didn't. I never had that. I know for sure it was the original Mario, so it couldn't have. I don't think I probably
Oh,
played 3, but yeah.
interesting.
Uh,
And that's kind of interesting how they did that. So they obviously had a certain amount of data they could hold in these cartridges, but they got to the point where I don't know, the technology way overpassed it. So they're like, we can just start throwing three full games at the time in just one cartridge, and it was no different
yeah.
than I don't know. That's
And,
interesting.
and now Nintendo never stopped doing that since we have the 30 like the Mario 3D box. What is it? I can't remember right now.
The
Uh
35th
3D All
anniversary?
Stars. Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
3D All Stars or whatever.
Yeah,
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 they
yeah,
still do
yeah.
that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we kind of brushed on that in episode 4 too. We Jessica brings up Mario. We talked about that. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so we know the
Hmm.
early stuff. So you were around with Nintendo, and you were born the same year as Allie, which would have been 1991. So you're
Yep.
breaking the 30s. We'll call you a millennial. We'll put you in the millennial age
Proud of
group
it.
here. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, we've accomplished plenty in our um age range. But so okay, like most people our age, so I'm a few years older than you guys, but it's just basically the same thing. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, you work your way up. What system, what game brought you in? Like to where like gaming was more than just a hobby, and you're like, I can, put a couple days playtime into these.
So I never got to experience N64. I had it. I played it a lot, but I never had
Ooh,
one on my own.
that's a tough
Um,
one. Okay.
my dad got a PlayStation. I remember when he bought it, we got like Ridge Racer and Top Gun. Like those are the first two games,
Oh,
and then
ooh,
Mortal
okay.
Kombat came. But I liked games at that point. But
Yeah.
it wasn't until I got a GameCube. I would go out
Interesting.
and play it with like my neighborhood kids all the time before that. And then once I got a GameCube, I they would always be coming to the door and asking like, "Hey, so can Thomas come outside?" No, like I'm busy.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
so yeah, I
yeah.
played GameCube. I don't remember a lot of games, but yeah, that's all I remember at the moment.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
what really started. So GameCube was a system though that kind of You felt the hours being spent, like that was they're pulling you in.
I could probably say Pokemon before that.
Okay.
Um,
What
I completed my red edition or red version like Pokedex, and I tried
God, that's
moving the
right.
stupid truck. Like,
I know.
yeah.
I focus so much on like consoles, like, and we're talking early consoles, your Super
Hmm.
Nintendo, but Game Boy for a handheld console, like, would Game Boy be what it was without the Pokemon franchise? Like, would have how many Game Boys were bought purely for Pokemon?
Probably so many at the time.
You know what? I
So
know I'm
many.
interviewing you. Go ahead and hop on Google and start looking stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
I'm
man,
talking.
it's always my job. No, no, seriously though.
No.
How
So
do
I
I
don't
even
know.
Google that? Like,
No. I don't want you googling it. I don't want you googling.
how
No.
many Game Boys were bought because of Pokemon?
Hey, I wonder if there's a statistic on. I know that's Siri. I got Google in the corner. She could help us out. But my phone's yelling at me too. It's asking why I'm asking stuff. But yeah, because I'm pretty sure I bought my Game Boy Color purely to play Pokemon. I had red. I was a red, and then I got yellow. Never had them both. My friend Brian up the street, he had blue, so he had a tether cable too. So we would
Yeah.
link up and just exploit whatever we needed to.
I wanted to think about how many people actually use that link cable without like or for any other game. Like I'm just trying to think. Like I'm sure that I did, but like why?
Again, more peripherals that were bought just for the cause
just for
of playing
just for Pokemon.
Pokemon. I don't
I
know.
mean, it's like the highest earning franchise of all time.
Yeah,
So
I could totally see it. Yeah.
yeah.
And Nintendac or whatever it is, it's been like 30 years. These guys are not 30 or 20. I think it was God, I want to reveal how old I am. So that means I'm older than Tom. But yeah, they've been raking the money for the better part of 15 to 20 years, and it's just unreal. Like, but then again, it's Grand Theft Auto 5, which has the biggest highest grossest piece of media or entertainment ever released in the history of man, which I can totally understand why. We'll get back to it again. I'm not gonna get too far off topic here, but my buddy Brandon, he just started playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and he's in love with it. I came back playing the online again. God, I love it. I do love the nightclub, just getting in there and griefing people.
I just started. It's weird, dude. Like I was getting bored, and I just downloaded it again. I bought it on
Yeah.
360 at first, and I think I got I got an original 360, and I got a red ring like halfway through,
Oh.
like playing it, and then I got stuck in there, and I never finished it. So I just kind
Oh.
of started playing
Oh,
again
that's
last
right.
week.
I remember Allison telling me about that. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked. Like I never got to
Yeah.
finish it, and I'm playing it, and man, it's so
Yeah.
good. Like it's
It
so good.
came out just listen to that. He was playing it for the Xbox 360, and I originally bought it on the PlayStation
Yeah.
3, and we're getting into PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, and they're planning on re-releasing it for these next gen systems. What the hell is and they're releasing for everyone who plays it every month online, you get $1 million up until the release of the PlayStation 5.
Really?
Yeah. You get so I logged on out of nowhere, so I'm like, I'm gonna check where I was at because I heard they just mass banned like 200,000. Or my wife sent me the article. Rockstar went on and found anyone who had cheat accounts. It was like over 200,000, and just put them all back to level one and stripped them of everything they had, or something like that. And I was like, oh, it's Rockstar's just beautiful with that punishment.
I heard that people that like would use glitches to get money
Oh
would
God, yeah.
get got reset, but then
Uh,
the people that like
mm.
had like trainers and stuff that they didn't catch are still fine. So it's all the
Oh
people just
yeah.
like use like glitch. It's like if Bungie got mad that I
Use
cheesed my
loot
way to
cave.
getting
Oh
yeah like
yeah.
that, and they got like but they handle it pretty well. They're like, well, we
They
put it
do.
in, we messed up,
Yeah.
and it's
And
like
they
I'd be
even
pretty mad at Rockstar.
now that Destiny's bringing back the Cosmodrome, do you think they'll still have that reference to the loot cave they have in Destiny 1? Think we'll see a reappearance of that?
If they do, it'll be for like a week, and it'll be on accident. I mean,
No,
maybe.
I'm not saying actual loot cave, but after they shut the loot cave
Oh.
down, they added that thing where you can go inside the cave and like press F or E, and it was like it made a sound like a laugh or something. They were
Oh,
fun. They were cool about it. They didn't ban anyone. Yeah, they
well,
were
yeah. I mean,
gracious.
when they had the bad juju cheese and like everything that happened with a season of opulence
Oh,
and everything, like how there was like that glitch where you can just keep opening up the box every time, like for like
Oh,
5 or 6 times at the end, and then
yeah.
they said, well, I mean, it is season of opulence. You might as well grow fat with strength, but we're taking away
Yeah.
next patch.
And that
So
was so cool.
enjoy
I
it.
love that. They gave you a warning because I used the shit out of that thing. I cheesed that
Yeah.
chest so much. I was using my hunter. I threw my stompies on it. I had it down to a science, dude. But yeah, they
Yeah.
gave us like a week or two too. They're like we'll give you, or like I think it was a week. Like we'll give you a week. So everyone abused the crap out of it and grow fat. And I was like, that's cool. But Grand Theft Auto also has a history of like real creative punishments too, where there was a car you weren't supposed to bring in from the campaign to online. People found a way to glitch it in. And so instead of like banning people or punishing, they just added like a patch to where anyone who started this car in online mode automatically exploded. So if you just so they still have the car, and as soon as you got in it, you just instantly die. The car would explode, and you have to pay the insurance to get it back, and just over only to have it happen to you again. I love it.
I
I
love that kind of stuff.
yeah, I dig it.
I
Creative,
love
but
that.
now just they straight. I don't think they banned Rockstar will never turn away money, but they said we're gonna put you all back to level one and let you guys with no guns, no houses, no businesses, and just figure it out.
But can you imagine playing something for 1,000 hours and like using a glitch to get money once and just having it all stripped from you? Like I'd be pretty mad. Like I get what they're doing. That's how they make
Hey,
money, but it sucks.
I don't know. I went into plenty of those money lobbies, experience lobbies. I actually I never used the experience lobbies. I'm level 78 in that game, and that's all earned through actual in-game activities. I've never used the experience glitch, but the money glitches I
Yeah.
used, they were like get $60,000 in like 20 minutes, and you're like, okay, so it wasn't like I was like really hurting the system here. Maybe that's why I logged on,
Yeah.
my account's untouched. My nothing Rockstar did nothing in my account, so I must have
They
been
approve.
above the board, yeah. Uh-oh. I think that's
Ooh, you got
yeah.
caught.
Well, let's go ahead and restart that one. That's what happens when we, um, uh, take a couple shots before the starting of the recording, Thomas. Um,
Yep, my fault.
okay, but I'm still looking for a game from you because I know I've seen how passionate you are with certain games, and I know it's just your personality in general. When you like something, you go full force, which is what makes you,
Yep.
a driven person. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. But so like for me, I don't know. I remember spending a lot of time, even on Super Nintendo, on the Donkey Kong Country series, and like buying strategy guides, finding out how to get like 110% on the game, and like that's when I kind of even like that early. Like I also did the same thing with Mega Man X series. I'd find every little secret, every little nook. That's why I had this weird affinity for like platformers with like lots of secrets. Give me your Blasphemous, your Bloodstained, your Castlevania Symphony of the Nights. But so like I see you like really into Destiny. I know you're into certain simulation resource based games. I know there was an incident with you in No Man's Sky, which was with a close friend of yours. We don't have to dig too
Yeah.
much into the incident, but give us an overview of what kind of transpired from that with No Man's Sky.
Knows what happened to No Man's Sky, right?
Yeah,
They not really everybody, but Sean Murray really overpromised and pretty much straight up lied about things. The rest
we
of the
can all
development team
agree.
was always like, we're not saying any of that, but Sean just kept saying like making weird promises.
Ooh,
Um,
ambitious, overly ambitious. Okay,
yeah, and
yeah,
regardless
it,
of where it's at now, it was when it released, it was a major, disappointment to a lot of people.
yeah,
And my friend and I decided like screw it, I don't care. I've heard bad things. I'm just gonna buy it, and I enjoyed it. Not for the reasons I thought, but
yeah,
because coming home from work and just having this weird giant, practically infinitely sized like Zen garden to just like chill
yep.
out with and not have to worry about too much was was really cool. And my
Absolutely.
friend just thought I was like better, like thinking I was better than him for liking this game. And I'm like, you're unfortunate too much. Like,
Oh,
stop it.
okay.
And
So it
I'm
wasn't
just like,
over the game. He was pushing like a
well,
pretentious thing on you.
it was more that like he didn't like see the point of like playing another survival game that was just like randomly generated or not randomly generated.
Procedurally
What is it?
generated.
Procedurally generated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's not the point. This game is beautiful because the fact that procedurally generated Diablo did that. You can
Yeah,
play anything that's procedurally generated. But this is it
nothing
was
wrong with it.
elegant
Yeah,
because this game was like when it was released, it was like what 10 gigabytes, and
interesting. Was
has
it
like
really only 10 GB in
yeah,
release? Wow.
yeah, and
Okay.
it has
Wow.
like 18 like quadrillion like so many nums like I don't know. The game is so large and there's so much stuff like so space in it, and the fact that you and I can play both offline and go to the same exact place off of 10 gigabyte game, I'm like, this is kind of a feat of an accomplishment. Like, it's an accomplishment. And
Absolutely.
yeah, he
Absolutely.
just didn't get that.
Just in technicalities or technability of the game. Like that's a hard thing to
Yeah,
accomplish regardless. And 10 gigs. Wow. It has to be
yeah.
up to 50 or 60 now. There's so much
I,
content to that game.
I feel like it's like 15 or something. Like I should check,
Wow, yeah.
but
Hey.
yeah.
And
So that's kind of where that came from. Like I really respected like the amount of work that must have gone into that, regardless of whether or not they lied about most of the game.
and
But
I know we can say lied, but like if I was like a developer and I was super stoked about a game I was putting out, and all you want is just like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do with it. This is the plans. I know what's possible. I know it's we're capable. We're gonna get there. They overpromise. Given if they would have like, yeah, they could have got that done in another 2 years, another year and a half, 2 years down the road. Absolutely, but not
yeah.
at release.
And I
They
think that's
prob
what
I
he was
will
trying to say. He
yeah.
started doing it again recently too. He started saying like, with the next project we're working on, it's gonna blow your minds. Everyone's like, don't do this, just stop.
Dude, settle down. Yeah. Have you not
So
learned
it
like
says like,
yeah. What's up? Let's know.
oh,
Yeah.
no, has he not learned? I was gonna say like, yeah, it says that it's still on Steam. It says 10 gigabytes required. I don't.
Jeez, that's it.
That game.
Why? Okay. Okay, for anyone who hasn't played No Man's Sky, this is like if you're into the whole like resource management, survival type, I just love the fact it's in outer space. I freak out when I can fly a ship off directly from a planet into space onto another planet with no loading screens. This is like that's all I want to do. I just love flying around in space, and that alone sold me. But
If you
it's an
don't
amazing
even
game.
if you don't have any boosters or anything, and like actually try to fly between these planets, it's gonna take you hours. Like, and then you turn on the
That's
boosters
the
and it's quick, but like
thing.
it's legit. Like I don't know, space.
No, you're right. That's what's driving me crazy right now. For 10 gig, and I've actually showed my wife Lena this is for 10 gigabytes, you can fly off planet, and if you have a marker set somewhere, you have your planet's next planet you're going to, it shows you in real time how long it takes to travel there. And between planets, it's like 4 or 5 hours. If you were just to, like without boosters fly there, and you need to have like resources to fill your boosters and stuff. But as soon as you use your boosters, that time drops down to like 20 seconds immediately, and you're like, okay, obviously that's manageable. But like, if you wanted to, you could take that 3 hours to fly there, and like, I wonder if there's a YouTube video on that. Someone has to have done like a fly like
So I
that,
mean,
or
I don't know about the fly, but I didn't watch the entire thing, but I skipped through something where somebody tried running around a planet once, just like
oh,
with
see,
no
even
like,
then,
and it took them like four hours or something. Like I would
good
never do that. I have a
lord,
life, but
yeah, I
and
know,
there are like 16 like sextillion or quadrillion planets or wait
yeah,
octillion. It's whatever 16 times 16 times 256
yeah.
times whatever 16 to the 16th power.
Yeah, and so for the uninitiated out there, that's more than like 10,000 planets. That's like a lot. So just to let you
It,
guys know.
it's it's like almost two with 19 zeros. That's how many like planets that is.
So yeah, like I said, above 10,000, somewhere above 10,000. But no, I know it's
Yeah.
an amazing game, and like I didn't buy it at launch. I remember hearing you talk about it. I remember hearing how much you liked it, and then I obviously follow the gaming news. It was getting all this press about these guys work on it behind the scenes. They kind of the guy Sean Murray shut his mouth for a while. They worked their asses off and have an amazing fucking game that to just keep pumping out free content for, which is it's amazing. I love it. So yeah, back to the original question. What was a
Yeah, I was gonna
game
say,
that pulled you in that hard? Like Metal Gear Solid or Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like something out there. I'm sorry, you didn't have Nintendo
Gex.
64. You already stated that. I'm sorry. I'm just rubbing it
I mean,
in
I
now.
played it a bit, but
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
I played Gex. I don't remember that game.
Was that
No,
with Earthworm Jim or, or
no,
what?
it was like
I
some
remember
game that
Gex.
was like produced by MTV or something with like the
I remember the logo for it. I never played it. It was too edgy for me. I was a real good
Oh,
like Christian
so
kid
good.
growing up. It was
Oh
way too
man.
edgy, but I can handle
I
it.
remember going to my cousin's house and playing like Duke Nukem all the time, being a little kid. And
Oh
I think the first game, like honestly, it was the first one that I was like always playing, trying to like exploit the crap out of, and like it was almost like I believed that these things like existed, and by hacking into it, I was like ripping through reality. It was
yeah.
Pokemon. Um, like
Oh
it's weird, dude. I got obsessed, and then I think I already talked about
Pokemon
that
had
a
a
little
lot of
bit. So
glitches. Yeah.
a lot, and it was just the mysterious fact that like there was this weird Pokemon that there used to exist. They took them all out, and then it was this glitch Pokemon that was
Yes.
left over, and then like the weird
Mysterio.
stuff like the oh no, it was a missing number, missing no.
Missing number 9 or no, it was a missing number. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
there was missing no, and then there was like this one called just M period, and then that one had like 4 or 5 different forms that like you could make appear in different ways. And then Mew was like this weird like mythical thing that was like almost like a real like oh my god, like I don't know,
Oh yeah.
that captured my imagination. But I think the game like that kind of got me into storylines because Pokemon obviously doesn't have great ones.
Right.
uh I remember crying Final Fantasy 7, and I think it was like in 98, 99 that I played it. Like just a little
Yeah.
kid, I'm all like playing it, and
Hey, it hits you
yeah,
deep. Yeah.
yeah.
I wa- I see. I was one of those people who was the a victim of. I never played Final Fantasy VII during the time because I watched
Hmm.
PJ, my older brother, play the entire Final Fantasy series. Like, and I was like I don't need to play it if I'm watching. And then like I had my own RPG on the side, which was Legend Legaia, which was out for
Hmm.
PlayStation One. It was one of my favorite RPGs of all time. And so I was like, okay, you could play Final Fantasy. And I'm gonna go play this on the side. You know, this will be my. And obviously, I was trying to like make myself different while stealing his clothes and wearing them to school because I thought I was really badass for wearing Volcom and shit. But in
Same.
the same breath, I was trying to make myself different. Yeah, you're still your older sister's clothes. I get it. But um,
It's true.
um yeah. But okay, so I'm sorry. You said the story that really brought you in was what'd you say was
It was Final Fantasy 7.
so Final Fantasy 7. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, what you're just getting on about. Okay, so you played this through, and then was it like directly like, hey, now I need to play Final Fantasy 8? Was it like that? Would it drag you into you just need to see the sequels after that?
Yes, I did end up very soon after getting Final Fantasy 8 from like through my dad or something, and I was not.
Okay.
I know a lot of people like it, and
Yeah,
it also almost
different.
ruined Final Fantasy for me for a long time.
Ooh, I get it. I
I never
understand.
like I
People love it.
never.
I know.
Yeah, and people love it. People always like say that. But I'm like, this is about a high school kid. um, I wasn't even in high school yet. It wasn't cool. I,
Yeah.
I never played 9. I played 10 and then 12 or 13 and 15. I started playing 15. I haven't finished it.
12.
But
12
yeah,
got a lot of
7 was
reference. So you
7
skipped
was different.
11 though, which was probably arguably the Final Fantasy I've spent the most time on in my life is Final Fantasy 11. Yeah. First
I've
MMO.
heard. Yeah, I mean, I've heard great things about that as well. Uh,
Yeah.
I got into
Nostalgia.
WoW instead.
I
So
get it. I quickly quit Final Fantasy because like, hey, wow, you can play solo over here and not have to rely on a party for 40 effing levels. I'm like, oh, this is very appealing to someone who just not want to have to wait hours. I'm talking hours for a party, and I'd be up until 4 in the morning. But luckily, I was a white mage healer, so I'd get them fast. But still, if the party wasn't good, the tank couldn't keep up. You lost experience. Okay, I'm not even getting into this. I'm gonna start
you
getting
got
angry.
lost experience in that
You
game?
lost experience, and you not only did you lose
Oh
experience,
no.
you could de-level. If I was 58 and I was like close to leveling and I lost, I would level down to 57 and I have to go somewhere else to level again because you couldn't be too weak. It
I
was
didn't know that. That
ooh,
sounds horrible.
punishing, very reliable on parties, a very like stoic warrior, white mage. Like you try to use a summoner, and I was a summoner too, and I love summoner. So, can you heal for us as a summoner? I'm like, oh, I fucking hate you. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be hard as hell, but I'll try. Yeah, yeah. Final Fantasy was amazing. That's what got me into the MMO genre. My
Dark
entrance
Souls
into it.
Final Fantasy. That's crazy.
Yeah, seriously, dude, for real. They did not mess around. I'm gonna take a I am here with
Oh,
Tom. We'll take a quick drink break, and we have a sponsor for this drink break too. Yeah, I'll bring it up later. But go ahead. Sorry, take your drink. What kind?
I'm drinking it. It's really good. Whoever it is, I don't know. It's great.
I love it. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's good sipping. This small little drink break was brought to you by I honestly don't sponsor this right now. I'm just kidding. No. Anyways, so Final Fantasy was your entrance into this deeper world of gaming, which I would probably say goes for a lot of people out there. I think you're in good company, is what I'm saying, which is thank God we have these entrance games too, which kind of it opens up creativity. I mean, definitely a something we touched about. I think maybe we'll add I don't know, was that part of the podcast I was talking about gaming addiction? Was that before we were recording? I don't know if we were before or after.
I think it was during. I think it was during.
Okay. Yeah, these games are amazing, but you can see some of these amazing games pulling into the gaming addiction. Like we talk about friend of the show from the podcast The Fad, Justin Kong, who put he brags about putting well over 400 or 500 hours in Final Fantasy 7 on his recent account, like the account he made as an adult, not like what he put in as a child. Like, yeah,
Wait, like the remake or the original?
I'm not sure how, because he plays emulators. He plays on his phone.
Right.
He plays the remake he bought on the remake on PlayStation. The PlayStation 1 Classic you can buy on the PlayStation 4. He plays that. Like every platform. It's like me with Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid 5, I have 100% it on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox at the point because it's just that fucking good. F all you fucking haters. You know what? I don't care.
I have this weird confession. I have never 100%ed a game, and I don't know.
No, I wanted to initially say it was surprising that, but you're also the type of guy to me who's like, I played this game, I loved it. Now what's next? Like it seems like you're just like, hey, I get it.
There's games that like I've wanted to. It's just I don't know what it is. I'm not really good at really. It's weird because I played WoW since it came out.
Yeah.
And yet I can play something and grind it forever, and WoW gets repetitive, and I guess it kind of touches on it. I can play WoW every new expansion for like 3 months, like nonstop, and like wake up. Like I started waking up like 2 hours before work just so I can play WoW before I went to work. And like for some reason, games like I have to be careful because if I try to get everything out of the way and just play it, like complete it as I go, I get burnt the hell out and I don't finish it.
Talking with me and Death Stranding right now, but yeah, I feel you.
I was thinking about you saying that completely. I just uninstalled it for Alex actually.
Oh, but, hey, you beat it. You did what you needed to do, and
I think I'll come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to you, and I just gotta get out of my head. I'm not gonna 100% it before I'm done playing it. I just gotta I'll come back to it and I'll finish these deliveries I need because the story is so good. I know I'm a Hideo Kojima fanboy, whatever you want to call it. I just love what that dude pumps out. Every Metal Gear Solid was my absolute favorite. I got the big boss mask on Metal Gear Solid 4. I know I'm gonna turn this about me again. It's gonna be shocking. Hold up here for a sec, Tom. I got the big boss mask. Big boss mask on Metal Gear Solid 4, which required doing 4.5 hours of beating the game. So you're skipping all the cutscenes, doing as fast as possible. No rations used. No deaths. You can't be seen. You can't have an alert, and you can't kill anyone. You have to do the whole thing with tranks and knockouts and stuff. And it's so effing rough. But I did it, and I will never look back. And I'm the greatest person alive. But
so if you died, do you have a second to like turn off your PlayStation or like?
Oh, I was all making sure you save before the certain checkpoints. Every boss fight, you make sure you save because you're doing it thousands of times trying to get a perk. There's a scene on chapter 3 where you and Big Mama are driving through the city, and she's like, "Hang on," and stuff, and she's just going through, and you have to. So you can't kill anyone. So everyone and you die within 3 hits. So you're tranking everyone while you're on the bike as fast as you can with this tiny little trinket. And I'm like pulling out air shotgun, just pumping, throwing flashes as fast as I can. It's so brutal. It's so brutal. Yeah, you got past.
Can you imagine getting to like the way end? Like you have like 10 minutes left in the game, and you realize that like you're at like 4 hours and 25 minutes or something. Like that would suck so bad.
And that's the thing about the save time too. Like you're constantly monitoring it because you have to beat chapter 1 in 20 minutes. Chapter 2 has to be beaten in under 15 minutes. Like you have to like it is, and it's not like, and that's the thing. By the time I hit chapter 5, because there's a 40-minute unskippable
Oh,
cutscene you have to skip through
yeah,
between Snake and
yeah.
Liquid. Spoiler alert for a 15-year-old game, you
No,
assholes.
I feel like
But
everybody knew about that. It was like a
yeah.
huge
Oh
deal.
yeah. Oh god. An old Snake fighting Liquid. My heart still like. I'm sorry. This is a franchise that's close to me, and I'm still waiting on this movie. Hideo Kojima and the director are still constantly posting concept art for the movie they're making, and Hideo Kojima has a lot of influence in this movie they're making from Metal Gear Solid. So
It's
fingers
gonna be
crossed.
weird.
Fingers
It's gonna
crossed.
be
Yeah.
weird.
God, I know, but I'm so effing just ready for it because I love this franchise so much. And just by default, I love Death
Yeah.
Stranding. Yeah, sorry, I'm bad one.
I love Death Stranding. It was weird, and I was confused in the beginning, and then I was like, "This is a Kojima game," and then it got better, and then I was like,
Thank you.
I forgot about him. I forgot what he
Same
did.
with podcast member Dan. He was like, "Yeah, I played it. It's weird." And I was like, "Dude, work your way through the Hideo Kojima weirdness and let it like get used to everyone being very normal about very weird shit in this game." And you're like, "Okay, I'm one of the weird people in this game where everything's just natural. So let's just live with it." And
And as weird as Kojima is, I think the weirdest thing about that game is Guillermo del Toro not being Guillermo del Toro.
I
Like that
know.
was just like, what is going on? This is not how things should be.
It's a cameo, except he's in 90% of the game. It's like he's just a
Yeah,
different character. It's so weird. Yeah.
different voice actor too, right?
No,
No,
really?
I thought it was. I could have sworn. I
Okay.
need to look this up because I thought if I'm wrong, then I'm like an idiot. But
No.
um,
Interesting. I
what is
heard they had to get a, different mocap artist for his no. I don't know how that works
it?
out. He's a very large man for people who haven't seen the director we're talking about, who is put out some great horror movies. And I love how Hideo Kojima brings these random people into his games. You're like Mads Nicholson, you're in. Norman Reedus, you're in. Guillermo del Toro, you're
Oh,
in. Like
well,
got
Guillermo del
some.
Toro and Norman Reedus were working with Kojima for PT or the Silent Hills game.
Oh,
Like,
that's
he was supposed to
right.
make, yeah,
Good point.
and
Very
that
good
game is
point.
probably one of the scariest. Like I remember I couldn't even. I had to play it with people in the room. I like it
Yeah.
was creepy as all hell.
Yeah, I recently finally I have had it on my PlayStation since they released it, and I was like, I will never. And thank God when I bought my Pro, it transferred over because I did the official PlayStation transfer, and it came over. But I finally beat it
Mm,
last year with the Fad members. I think it was Bryant and Justin, and all five of us in the room, including my wife, and we just scared the shit out of us. Like we were still just terrified, and we needed a
yeah.
strategy guide because you don't know what to do. You're like, you have to look around at your back at this moment, and then check this picture out.
Oh, dude, but it was so good because like it felt like an evolution without having to change scenery and like having like just walking around every time just change and you're like what
Yeah.
the first time you're like what the fuck
Yes.
and the fetus
Oh
there's
my
like some weird
god.
parallels too with like Death Stranding and PT right.
Ooh, you're connecting some dots here, and I'm getting excited. Yeah.
No, oh yeah Deadman was voiced by someone named Jesse Cordy. It wasn't even
Wow.
Guillermo del Toro and I thought
Here
that
I
was the
am.
weirdest thing.
That is okay. I completely bought that was him. Like
Really,
ooh,
yeah.
wow. Cause don't they when they introduce Deadman, don't they put Guillermo del Toro under like they label him like they okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
They
I don't know.
they did, but like it was I think it was different. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he voiced the Japanese version. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
And then
I
like
don't know.
they don't even have like it's not even him in that version. It's like the other guys like on mocap.
You're like,
But
why does it make any sense? All
yeah,
right.
I think
Wow.
I did. Matt Mickelson was probably he was the star of that. Like he
Oh,
was.
God, he was so good in that game, dude. Like
Yeah.
every scene with, I have like hundreds of screenshots on my desktop right now because like every scene with him, I was like, and they were having that contest with Death Stranding for a while, so like I was like posing it
Oh
perfect
yeah,
and just like
yeah.
spamming screens like different filters. I was yeah, very,
I just loved it.
very proud.
The whole like every
Oh
time you see him.
God,
Oh man,
yeah. He was
he was
so
so
hard
cool.
in that game. All right, thank you. I'm gonna go beat it now. You're getting me. I'm getting the fortitude to go finish that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that The archaeologist still needs his packages to level 5. All right, I'm sorry. Back to life. One other thing.
Yeah.
So there's two other things I want to get into before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
One topic more important than the other. I wanted to know, you are a newlywed-ish. You're almost out of your first year of marriage here. I wanted to know how's been being an avid gamer. Um, like creeping towards the background. Being an avid gamer with a wife. I say us Silveras can be difficult, but we can also be understanding about certain things too. I'm not taking anything away from my little sister. She's awesome, but she's not me. I'm a dickhead. My little sister is a very cool person. How has it been? How's it been being married and playing games?
Uh, she doesn't know I play. No. I think for a long time I stopped playing for a while.
Yeah,
For like there was a good period for like 2 or 3 years where I actually stopped playing games, and I think I might have needed
interesting.
that.
Yeah,
Because I
you're
don't know,
really good
I
with
needed
that.
it.
You gave how long
I
did you give
used
up
to
meat
be.
for?
Oh, I was vegetarian. I was pescatarian. Not
Okay.
for not for like animal rights reasons, but
No, yeah,
because
health. Yeah,
health.
right.
I couldn't do
Yeah.
it, but it was like 2 years.
Yeah, you are when you put your mind towards something, you're very driven. You're a very driven
Thank
dude.
you.
Yeah.
I That's what I like to think until recently, with my whole relapse into gaming. Um, but I think in the past years, I think Destiny was actually what got me back into it, because
Ah,
I wanted to say earlier, the game that I first like fell in love, other than Star Wars, like I love Star Wars lore. I
yes.
always
Kodar?
have. But
We talking Kodar
KOTOR
here?
for
Or? Okay.
sure.
Okay.
I'm almost happy. I heard that they're going to be making, or Kathleen Kennedy hinted they're making a KOTOR or like an Old Republic movie, and I'm like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've always wanted.
I
But
heard rumors.
after
Interrupt
that,
real quick. I did hear rumors
yeah.
about, I can never pronounce his name. Director from Thor Ragnarok. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
He Takiti Wakata. I can't. I'm terrible.
yeah,
We'll flash
yeah.
his name somewhere right up there.
Boop, boop,
But
boop,
yeah, thank you.
boop,
Perfect, thank you.
boop.
Um, he is directing the next, not the next, but he's going to be diving into the Star Wars in a totally different timeline from the Skywalker saga. So he's going to be
It
taking over
better
the
be
reins on it.
KOTOR.
And that's what I'm saying. Give him the reins. He is so talented. I love this dude. Acting, directing. I'm sure he's had plenty of help writing with in-game and stuff. He gave his influence for the Thor scenes, and they do
Hmm.
behind the scenes stuff. And he's
I
I
guess
am just in love with this dude right now. What We Do in the
he
Shadows. Oh my god, the vampire movie
he
is
made Thor. Was it Thor Ragnarok?
yes. And
Um,
and he's doing
yeah,
Love and Thunder.
his comedy hits
Hank.
just perfectly,
Yep.
right? Like it just hits you in like you don't expect it, and like it doesn't feel forced. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars
Yeah.
is all about that, like that soft comedy that kind of hits you, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's one of the things they always get wrong. So that'd be
Yes.
good.
Did you see did you watch The Mandalorian? Obviously, I'm sure you did.
Oh yeah,
He
um,
played the assassin
the
droid.
dark saber.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Just that little small part, he voiced the assassin droid. And I was like, I love this dude. He always plays these weird, random, off the wall parts. Korg in uh in game and Infinity War, I think. Yeah. In game and Infinity
Yeah.
War for Marvel's Korg. He voiced him
I
too.
did
I was like,
not. I didn't know that.
yeah, yes, he did, and he's got that English accent. I can't do that well, but and if you, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it again. My buddy Kyle introduced the movie to me. What We Do in the Shadows. He directed and stars in this movie as it's a reality mockumentary on vampires, and it's the funniest movie out there. Like I'm talking Windy City Heat. What We Do in the Shadows, very close to that movie. I'm talking two of the best movies out there, but he's just an amazing
Oh.
director, hilarious actor, and he's up there. He's got that same almost like Sacha Baron Cohen kind of like humor. He doesn't necessarily do like the gotcha kind of comedy, but he has that similar kind of humor. Which, by the way, reports of Sacha Baron Cohen for filming for Borat 2.
Oh, I was gonna actually bring that up. He confirmed that it's already done filming.
Oh
He already did it.
yeah, I'm
Which
so
I love. I love
stoked.
that he can come out and do that and like be like, well, we already punked everybody. Like,
Yeah, we already got it
sorry.
also. F you
I
guys.
hope that
Yeah.
there's got to be a Trump in there, dude. I hope there's a Trump in there.
Oh
That'd be
god.
so
Oh
cool.
yeah. They're gonna have some.
Oh,
They're gonna have some high level GOP and oh, it's gonna be
dude,
good.
did you hear that recently? He said that he was like, "Yeah, I want Joe Rogan. I would do a debate with Joe Rogan hosting it."
Oh, the 4 hour
like
debate. Yeah.
yeah, and like there's no way Biden would do it.
Yeah.
But like I
I
could see
love
it
the
Trump
fact.
walking like Trump would still walk away and be like, "I won," and then everybody else that watched it would be like, "Man, Joe was like punking him the entire time, but like it doesn't matter because he won." So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
This is an anti politics podcast, but
No,
absolutely.
it'd be
I know.
funny. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
Let's cut
Current
that out. Let's
events.
just
I
leave
know. I would love to
everything I
see
just
that.
said.
I like Joe Rogan. He seems like a pretty moderate dude. I would love to see that just in general. And
Yeah.
just say what you want about it.
He,
It would be entertaining. It would be
I like
yeah.
him because he doesn't have he has people on the show and like it doesn't matter what they believe in, like he's just gonna let them
Yeah.
talk and like
Oh god,
he'll
yeah.
ask them questions. Lately he's been a little bit more uh you know verbal about his opinions, but for the most
Yeah.
part, love the dude.
Yeah.
Um
Absolutely. Totally dig it. Well, anyways, back to the topic. I know you're trying to avoid this topic because I feel like we hit some nerve, but gaming while married. Tom,
yeah,
buddy.
I was going into that and then I forgot what it was. Can we just next question? No. No, yeah, she there are obviously times where I'll just I already worked from home before COVID, and
Yeah.
now with COVID, like it's almost like I'm watching everybody else do it, so it's great. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like I wake up, work, and then she comes home from work, and she doesn't get the luxury working from home, and I'm already playing video games by the time she's like on her drive home, and she works like 5 minutes away. So like I'm already playing
Yeah.
games in that 5 minutes, and then sometimes we'll like watch something together, hang out, we'll make dinner. But there are
Yeah.
some nights where I'm just like full on like I'm sorry, I'm like in the middle of this game. I can't pause it, mom. No,
Hey. No. I feel like Allison would probably understand that better than most. I feel like I'm
yeah.
thankful I can get that same thing from Lena. Lena's like, hey, could you come watch Sophia real quick? I'm like, well, Destiny, you can't pause, babe. I have to explain it to her. Like, I feel like Allison, like having two older brothers who played a lot of games you couldn't pause.
Yeah.
Hopefully she would understand that.
Yeah, and like it's good because we do I'm not really a huge I like the art of cinematography. I like film. I'm
Yeah.
not like a big person that like watches a lot of TV and stuff. She does enjoy TV. Like she can name
Yes.
anybody just based off of their voice for like a half second and be like, that's that
Yeah.
one dude in that one commercial from like 10 years
Yeah.
ago. And I'm sure that you have
Yeah.
that ability too.
Yes.
And
We
so
should
sometimes it's great because I'll be just playing my game, getting into its story, and then she'll be getting into something that she's watching. So it does
Yes.
work out,
And that's
luckily.
the thing. My favorite podcaster of all time was Adam Carolla, and he said, if you want to have a successful marriage that'll go on for decades, square footage and two TVs. Or his thing was two TiVos. Now it's two Roku's, two TVs, two streaming service, two forms where you guys can watch your own stuff. I love fictional violence. I love just graphic fictional violence. My wife loves realistic violence about people getting kidnapped and killed or wives, murdering their husbands. I can't stand that stuff. It makes me depressed. Give me fictional violence. I don't know. But so
Just
like
blink twice if you need help.
but, no, so like having two different mediums because I can see that like my whole family is like we've always been like the Simpsons is like a pillar in the Silvera family, and Tom's well aware of this. Our knowledge and our general love for this series, it taught my sister and I a lot. We were
Yeah,
raised on the Simpsons.
she'll say something and I'll be like, "What was that?" She's like, it's a Simpsons quote," and I'm like, "I wish I tell me about it."
We'll touch on that when we get into the interview with Casey in this new Shane Solo edition. Casey and I, another person, not through Simpson quotes, but Casey and I can talk through movie quotes and not have to say anything to each other for hours in regular English, just movie quotes. We used to work together, live together, but yeah, very very similar
Dope.
situation. But my wife,
That's
not so
dope.
much. She had a life growing up. She studied and did good in school and stuff. I can't take that same claim. But all
Yeah.
right. So okay, Meredith Gaming. Allison's I figured as much. Allison, I know. She's very understanding. We flip out in small weird shit as Silvera's, not stuff like gaming. We like to find weird
Never.
things to nag. God, okay, God. I'm saying I'm not talking for Allie here. I'm only talking for myself and maybe a few maybe my dad. I won't group PJ in with this either. But okay, I appreciate the candidness because I got the same scenario. Lena didn't grow up in a video game family. She grew up in a family that was just came to this country and was struggling as much as well. She was lucky enough to be born in this country, but her family struggled their ass off, so they didn't get much video game time. But she loves it now. Huge fan. She's very good about getting my time, and she also knows, hey, as soon as I finish this strike up on Destiny, I'm all F4ing out, and I'm watching the baby for as long as you need me to. So there is compromise. There's a lot of compromise, and I know you and
Wanted to
Alice.
ask. Oh
Yeah.
no, actually no. I'll ask after. I'll ask after.
Yeah, I was to
Sorry.
say, I know you and Allison are like, it's not like you're constantly. I'm painting a picture like Tom does nothing but play video games here, but you guys are always off in the desert, going up to the mountains. You and Allie are some of the most active people, and it disgusts me. Makes me
We're
tired.
really
It
not.
disgusts me. You used to be.
It's
You guys used to
weird.
be much more before. Like you guys are a
I mean,
concert and always traveling.
that's probably more Allison than I.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I love people. I love being
Yeah.
social. But like, if left to my own devices, I'm pretty sure that I would just stay here in this like 5 square foot area. Uh,
Yes. I love it.
but Allison does have a need, and it's great because she
Yeah.
wants to be around people, and yeah. So there are times lately we do go to the desert maybe or once a month or once every other month. Um, just escape and unplug for like a weekend because it's
I love
hard. Like
it.
I feel like even more so now than before. It's weird because we're all like stuck and away from each other, and somehow now we're more plugged in
Yes.
than ever.
Yeah.
Um,
Totally agree. Totally agree.
so it's good just to have like a hard reset for a little bit. Don't check your
Yeah.
phone
Yeah.
and come back refreshed.
We have,
But
yeah. I was, yeah, so many plans for Sophia. Like, as soon as she's like, give it like probably another year, we're gonna take her camping. We're gonna take her constantly camping at the beach, the deserts, anywhere we can. Can't
yeah,
wait.
I've had coworkers tell me how almost weird it is right now with COVID and like having to raise kids because like on some level you're like you don't want to tell your kids not to ever be around anybody, but right now we're almost like teaching kids like everybody else is super dangerous, don't talk to anybody.
Straight up.
So
And I know, like, my little baby is, she's about a year and a half, but the where our condo is, this little complex, there's like a bunch of these adorable little kids always running out. The moms and dads are all friends, and Lena and I are here. We have a kid now, so we're trying to find out, like, hey, we have a baby too now, come talk to us. But the
can we
little kids,
join in?
they love Sophia, but like, luckily it does seem like everyone's kind of right leaning, so no one's wearing a mask anytime. Not much care about social distancing, unfortunately. But I kind of took and ran with the social distancing because, like you, I'm down to stay in this enclosed space and in these flying lines right here in Tron World because I'm a little bit of an
So
introvert. Lena likes to go spend time with her family outside. It's 120 degrees outside, and
mm-hmm.
I'm aggressively white, and I will burn. But that's why video games work. But yeah,
Yeah. No, it's funny because I've been very paranoid about this since before it got really bad. Like I remember before anybody it was even a big thing. I'm like, I don't know. I heard this might be a thing. I'm not going out, and
yeah,
I just said all that. It was a lie. In reality, I'm using like my fear of other people. Like I just like I'm saying like, oh man, like I don't want to get sick, but in reality, I'm just like I have an excuse to stay inside. I'm
yeah.
lying. It's not me,
Okay.
but
Hey, no, I
no.
was about to agree with you. I was gonna
Um,
be like, hey, I was already like, yeah, I'll deal
it,
with you.
it is a great excuse. You're just like, hey,
No,
mom, actually, no, COVID. No,
we're
it,
introverts. Not, I know, not even with mom. No,
yeah.
I totally get you. It gets to the point where like you have an excuse not to make that run to the grocery store to have the Instacart come to you. Like
Oh,
my wife won't stand for it. She's like, I'm going to the store every day, like we were before. She wears her mask and everything. Yeah, but
I mean, Allison likes going to the store. I was using Instacart actually like, before COVID even like was a thing. I got
yeah.
so mad when it started because for like there was a month where it was impossible to get Instacart, and I actually had to go to the store.
Oh,
But
dude, I
Allison
almost
Allison loves the
yeah.
store. She likes walking around and like figuring out like what she wants, and I'm like, I already know I'm gonna get what I want.
That's how I am. Like,
But
I am kind of like I have a list. I'm going in. I'm directed. And like that first couple weeks, and like we had like the pandemic hit, and stores were ravaged, and like it got very anxiety ridden. But it got to the point where like everyone like, and I can only imagine now it's almost kind of worse that people have been shut in for a while. But like those first few
mhm.
store visits were like. I almost got into a couple fights. Like it was getting intense. I had people like, cause like I was sitting there, had a mask on, putting stuff on the belt, and like I have a cart full of shit, so I'm gonna need this whole belt. As soon as I start putting stuff on, this guy's piling stuff on behind me. So I'm like, okay, now we have to touch her shit. And I don't know. I'm not getting into this. I'm gonna start getting angry and start flipping out. But yeah, I know it's really is unprecedented times. Unfortunately for the, I mean, fortunately for the introverts, we're thriving. I probably would have never been able to make this
Yeah.
little dumb mediocre podcast without it, but here we are.
It's like the modern day renaissance, man. Like we're all just like, we're bored. What are we gonna do?
Hey, I know, and everyone's like creative outlets being expressed, and like it really is. Like I like that comparison.
I
Okay,
remember when it first started. Like I remember every time you were outside. Like it wasn't
yeah.
very long this happened, but like you go outside, and if somebody coughed, everybody's just get the
Oh,
hell away
dude.
from me. Like
Yeah.
every time, it was so funny.
Oh,
Like
dude.
you're
Like
trying to get the cough, you're like sitting there like, oh,
yeah, you
nope.
got a tickle in your throat. You're like, I just had I'd be sitting there eating like a cup of noodles at my desk at work, and like I'm trying not to get like sent to the hospital for a COVID test, God forbid, before I get furloughed and stuff. Just like everyone just looks at you. It's just terrifying. You're like, I'm good. Pepper. I had a little pepper in my soup. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
That
it was
was
very.
that was perfect. That was great.
It's bad. No, I know, but well, like I saw this meme was like, remember in April when we saw a bunch of these memes saying, when this is over, our plans for it. And you're just like, now we're looking at it going well into next year. Like this might be the new norm for a bit here, people.
And
But
the rest of the world is starting to hit their wave too, which everyone thought was gonna happen. Like just like the
yeah,
Spanish flu and everything, and now like Corona. God, it's weird because we live in Corona, but
I
America
know.
never like stopped its first wave. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
we rode that
It's gonna
wave.
be fun.
Yeah, we've been thinking like if this, my wife when you're talking about it, if this really lasts up until the flu season, this November or this holiday season like it usually hits. I was like, oh, it's gonna be an effing nightmare.
Mhm.
It'll be unfortunate at best. But I don't know. Let's not get into real world events. We're here to talk about video game stuff. We're getting a little bit long on time here, which awesome. But there's one thing I wanted to get into before we wrapped it up, and I was saving it for last because it's so effing juicy. Um, Tell me what you thought of the Avengers, the Marvel's Avengers, Marvel's new game out on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam right now. Avengers. What do you think of it? Give me your honest impression. Hold on, first, I want to know what you thought of the
And
campaign.
Stadia.
Is it on Stadia? I will not acknowledge Stadia as a con. After you made me try it, and I felt that different lag on the, I was just upset with it.
Get
But
better internet, bro.
that's impossible, unfortunately, for Southern California and the IE, sir. So how dare you? I tried to get Fios able to not give it to my any type of hard.
I,
Anyways,
I
uh,
gave it no.
I wanted to get your
And
thoughts. What do you think of
also
it?
I thought that ooh, in
Mm,
terms of the actual storyline, because I want to touch on a few things here. It's going to be kind of like I'm going to go in different directions.
please do. Oh
Just
God.
the most basic thing, as in terms of like, when you think of Marvel now, you think big budget, like great story. And
Yeah.
as somebody who never wanted to watch Marvel movies because like they were so everybody talks about them, and then finally
Yeah.
watching them and just being in love, like
Yeah.
absolutely,
It
it
actually
had
is
that.
good
Like
storytelling.
it,
Yeah.
it it felt like a Marvel movie.
Interesting.
And there were
Uh,
cheesy parts, but
yeah. I want your expectations going in. Let's talk about not even gameplay mechanics. Let's talk about solely lore and campaign mode, story mode here. What were your expectations going into this campaign?
I didn't learn. I mean, in terms of lore and everything, I had already heard like about the kind of small ruckus that was raised about the fact that they had like they weren't really it wasn't the MCU. So like
Right, right,
obviously they
right.
don't look the same. So like
Yeah.
that was not as surprising. I kind of get
Right.
why they did that. Um I, I didn't know too much what to expect in terms of lore.
Yeah.
Um I obviously know everything that was in it. I
Yeah, yeah.
knew that it was going to be kind of based around Miss Marvel because she's going to be big in the MCU soon too.
Yes.
Um,
Or she got her own Disney show coming out here in
I
a
thought it
year
was
or
a
so.
movie, so yeah, she's our so the
Okay, I
show,
think
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a Disney show, but maybe I'm sure a movie's lined up. Well, it's like it can't. I'm sure they coexist with each other.
I believe it. I believe
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
But I mean, I don't know. I loved this the story. I thought it was pretty true, even though it was obviously like a different timeline. I thought that they
Yeah.
were pretty true to all the characters. I thought Tony Stark was a bit cheesy, more so than the
Okay.
movies.
He came the closest, and he was actually.
Really?
I really feel like. Okay, my personal opinion, I went to this thinking, okay, it's a looter game. It's a looter brawler game, arcade style brawler.
I'm gonna
I'm
touch
not
on that in a
expecting a good
bit.
camp. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I'm not
But yeah.
expecting a good campaign. I'm not expecting any good. I'm sure they're gonna have lore. It'll be cool, Marvel related lore, like we've seen in every past X-Men game that came out or whatever. But I really felt like um they absolutely I was expecting so low, and they completely nailed the campaign, in my opinion, the story. I went in thinking like, hey, I'm gonna be in this for
Yeah.
lore. Hopefully it'll have some kind of in-game Destiny-ish. Maybe it'll be what Anthem could have been. But it turned out being this amazing story where I got behind every single character. I was like, okay, he replaced Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark for me. Nolan North, who did Drake, and he's yeah, he did Drake and Uncharted, done a bunch of stuff. He does the Ghost and Destiny now, as well as did
Yeah.
Cade. He
Yeah. Oh,
after Nathan
later on, Cade.
after
After
Nathan
the
Fillion. Yeah, when
after
he
our
died.
beautiful Firefly man left, but
It hurt
yeah.
us all. It hurt us all. I know
Um.
Fillion was the best, but yeah, I really felt like the only
Yeah.
person I couldn't get behind was Captain America. The Steve Rogers was like, okay, who's this fucking Duke Nukem gravelly dude trying to? Captain America needs to be a little more softer. I don't
They
know.
kind I feel like they kind of nailed him in some ways. He wasn't around much.
Right.
I didn't say that. Let's bleep that out. He
Ooh,
was
spoiler
I
alert.
don't know
Good
anything about
point.
that guy. I think he
Oh,
was only in the beginning part for like 10 minutes.
yeah. And
Um
he's in the beta. You can
no,
play
but
him as Lil in the beta for those who were able to
yeah.
experience it.
But I mean, I thought Thor was like on point. Looks and like how he acted
Voice
was
acting. Yeah.
mm,
Perfect. Yeah. I even thought maybe it's because Mark Ruffalo I mean he's the best
yeah.
Hulk we had, but I felt like Bruce Banner was great. I think the voice acting for him was perfect.
He was pretty close too. I felt like it was like for the most part they did a really good job of capturing like the same characters we know, but like in almost an alternate timeline way. Like I thought it was great. I thought that obviously like this teenage girl, like Miss Marvel was she acted like a teenage girl or teenage
Yeah.
anybody. Like I don't want to say girl, but yeah, that was kind of she was
No.
cringy
Typical
in a way
young.
that made like yeah, but like great because it also kind of captured the feeling that I felt playing the game, being like almost like her, like super excited to hang out with the with the Avengers.
100
Um,
fucking percent. I talked to Dan
yeah,
about this. You're absolutely right. You're hitting it dead on.
yeah. But after that, though, the thing that I was most excited about, let's be honest, when I didn't find out that it was like a looter, really, like how like all the beautiful looters that I love playing, like Destiny, until
Yeah.
like a week or two before it came out. I didn't play the beta, so I thought that they nailed a lot of that aspect. I don't. The only thing that like I think is genius about their whole scheme right now, their market, their strategy, is the fact that they can have episodic like updates to the story like every month or whatever. That which is
Yep.
super cool. I think that's genius because it's almost like getting a new Marvel movie every so often, like getting to play of like the next part or like the next episode or whatever. Super cool. I
Yep.
don't think that I want to play. If I can have an analogy to Destiny, like I don't want to play strikes nonstop. Like I think that's all it is. It's like I'm not
Yeah.
customizing anything except the like how powerful I am. Like there's no me. I think that's what they're missing from this. It's almost it sucks, but like that's what's missing to me. If I had my own character or if they had even you know uh gear that looked like different aesthetics, like I don't know.
Yeah. Just not a blanket cosmetic you can change. Which you can change the look of your character, but it's just like a blanket cosmetic appearance. So like, and they tease you because they show you like these cool shields you could have with Captain America, and you can equip them, but it doesn't change the actual look of his regular shield, which is a bummer. I
So
totally get
overall,
you.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad too because like I went in with like, okay, I'm gonna grind out this crappy campaign real quick, get through it, and try to get into the end game to see what I can start doing these high end raids and so, like they are coming out in a couple of weeks with a Wakanda raid, which I'm very excited for. I'm
Mm.
super very excited. Hopefully, we'll see a Cliff Barton by then. We'll see some of these added characters they're gonna bring
Oh,
through.
I thought the first one. What's crap? What's Cliff's the other Hawkeye?
Oh,
um,
yeah, his female counterpart. They're gonna be bringing in. You're talking about right?
yeah, I think
Kate,
she's first.
is it
I
Kate
thought
Bishop? No.
maybe
Uh,
it's been a.
yeah,
I know she. I heard that like they're teasing that, or it was rumored that she comes first,
makes sense.
then Hawkeye. Who else did they announce?
A
I don't
She-Hulk's
talk
gonna
about
be coming.
She-Hulk. I think that's
Which
cheap.
and it makes sense because you see these in I heard Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange were kind of up there, like they're close, especially Scarlet Witch, and it makes sense because you're looking at a line of these Disney shows that are gonna be coming out, and it's Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Hawkeye's daughter taking over the role from Hawkeye, especially since he had a domestic abuse little allegation IRL in real life here, allegedly. And he's Disney does not take too kindly on those family issues, so I think they're looking to get him out as soon as possible and get his daughter up as the new Hawkeye.
Oh, that
That's just speculation.
that sucks.
Yeah, I know. I heard Jeremy Reiner has his demons in her life. He's had his problems, which sucks. I love him as an actor. He's such a good actor. So it's kind of, and I love him as Hawkeye. So God willing, he gets his stuff together. We can see
I
more of
I
him.
hate when your heroes just die. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I know.
No.
Hey, you're talking to someone whose favorite actor in the '90s was Chris Farley. So that was like one of the hardest things that
Well, I mean
ever
that's
hit
like
me.
I wasn't that literal,
Okay, well,
but
Tom, you said
no,
it. It's
yeah,
out in the
yeah.
ether now. All right. But wow, this went way longer than I expected you. Tom, I love what you
Ooh,
brought, buddy. Plenty of
man,
great
I could
stuff
have
to
gone
talk about.
forever.
I know.
And I
Hey.
wanted to talk about the Dune trailer that came out. I
Oh,
don't.
you're right. You know what? Hey, you know what? Everyone, look forward to maybe just a new segment. Tom and I are just gonna go over different nerd stuff
Trailer.
that's coming out. Comic books,
Yeah.
movies, video games. Tom and I will get into fights about controller versus keyboard. Anything you guys want to hear. But maybe that's what I want to do with this Shane Solo edition. I want to try to find some more avenues of recordings we could do. So Tom, we'll think of a new name for it. You and me will hop on here again. We'll talk about some more stuff in a little bit, maybe in a week or so. How's that sound?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna start interviewing random people in the streets and have my own segment called Tom Knows.
Please do. I've got some prank calls lined up for GameStop I'm going to record here, so you guys stay
And
tuned for that.
do you have Battletoads? Do you have Battletoads or what?
So yeah, I'll call into the local one here in Corona and just be like, I really need I really need Leisure Suit Larry for reasons I'm not willing to discuss. we'll, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's I think that's gonna rack it up for this segment though. Yeah, people expect to see more of Tom and I just chatting the shit here. But Tom, anything you want to plug? Anything you wanted to push up there? That is so effing unsettling. I hate it. I am uncomfortable. I want to crawl out of my own skin. Here we are. Ooh. Ooh, sultry Squidward. Is that what we're looking at? Sultry Squidward. Good lord,
Yeah,
I'm uncomfortable
sorry.
right now.
I couldn't. I had to. I had to throw it in at least once. I've been waiting for a while.
I know. I was trying to get it ready before we started. I was like, I don't got. I'm gonna be here for the next hour trying to set it up. But all right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think of the first Shane Solo edition, and whether you guys want to hear Tom and I. Actually, we don't care. Tom and I are gonna talk about this stuff anyways. We're gonna record it. We'll throw it out there for you guys. That's gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Tom, you want to plug anything? We'll let them know where you're at. Anything we'll let people know.
Oh man, if I knew that I was, it's
Gonna
like I
have to
want to be
plug
like.
some.
I mean, I have things I can plug probably, but now I have to. No, I'm not gonna plug anything except for Hot Ones is a great podcast. I'm just kidding. I don't
How
know.
dare you? I'm gonna believe
No.
that.
I was thinking about Aubrey Plaza, where she's like, they asked her the same exact question, and she's just like, "Well, I've been going to therapy lately, and it's really great, and it's going really well." And I'm like, "You're just like, that's not what we're talking about. Like, plug a show."
Uncomfortable at best. All
So I'd be
right.
like, I
Well,
wanted to say that, like, "Oh yeah, I've been going to therapy. It's been going pretty well."
okay.
Uh,
That's the last time I
no,
let
but
Tom
no,
ever add a plug to the show again. So when
I
Tom
can
and I
have
eventually
plugs.
okay. next time we'll next show. That's why you guys have to stay tuned for Shane and Tom discuss stuff, and we'll have a better title
Yeah.
for that. But that's
I'll
gonna
come
wrap it
prepared
up.
with a plug. I want us to say one thing like and subscribe.
Thank you, Tom. Tom's
For
really
real though.
working his YouTube career here. But all right, that is gonna wrap it up for this
It was
episode
a bet.
for the
I said
fourth
that because of
time.
a bet.
You guys want to check us out again? I'm sure you're listening to us on our YouTube channel right now at New Player Podcast. On Facebook, we're at New Player Podcast. Instagram at New Player Podcast, and on Twitter at New Player Podcast CST. That's right. I'm not adding there anything, Thomas. You'll see after this segment right here. But all right, everyone. Thank you for checking out the first experiment of New Player Podcast, the Shane Soul Edition. That's gonna wrap it up. Peace.
Yeah. Later.